Hello my fellow podiatrists, I'm Mr. Church, and today we're going to be making a realistic looking raider camp right here, pinched between the National Radio Astronomy, I forgot what that is, and Camp Venture. Right between it. So this place, I was wandering around and I came across it. It looks awesome. There's this truck with all this shit. And of course, bad things spawn here as well. You will need to kill every time you log in, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it. Now, if you've been playing since beta, finding a place like this that you've never seen before is exciting. So of course, I had to immediately move my camp and waste thousands of hours and rebuild a new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to make this place look like some people. I don't know if they're raiders or settlers or mechanics or donut salesmen. They came to this spot and they set up a shack. Maybe their dump truck broke down and they're living out of what's left in the contents of the back of it. That sentence barely made sense, but I'm glad we made it through there together. It's called having a stroke for Jesus. Now, I'm going to be making this build extremely simple and extremely small. The trick when you're building in an existing location is what you're trying to do is you're trying to incorporate what's already there, and you're trying to highlight what's already there. You are not trying to overshadow what's already there. So we want something that looks scrappy and thrown together. We want something that looks like it's sort of connected to what's going on, and we want something that tells a story. If your build doesn't tell a story, then it's going to feel lifeless, because it is lifeless. There's nothing going on there. So I want to put posts in the corners here for this little porch area. To do that, I have to make this little upper floor corner, and then I can jab the post into the corner. Otherwise, it only wants to snap to the exact middle of each side of the foundation. Like this. It doesn't want to go in the corner. It hates going in the corner. It hates going in the corner more than I hate the barn set. And that's a goddamn lie. So in order to do that, you just make this little corner thing, shove the post into the corner like it deeply offended your mother, and then delete that upper floor and never speak of it again. Now most of this build there's no tricks, there's no anything special to it, so let me just talk my fucking ass off for a minute. A couple things when you're making a camp, if you want it to, as I was talking about earlier, telling a story. Don't be afraid to change your mind about something. Try it. If it looks like absolute horse shit, like this, I was like, maybe a garage door, and then I saw it, and I said, what the fuck? No thank you. And then I got rid of it immediately. You can mess around with it. You can see, hey, does this work? Does it not? I don't know. What you first put down doesn't have to stay there. That's why we have the delete button. It's a great feature. Some people should use it on their whole camp. And I'm not excluding myself from that list. I've made some pretty bad looking camps myself. But this one we're trying to make bad looking. But it's a special kind of bad looking. Very nutritional shit. Like rabbit poop. Now, I'm going to keep the floors without any special texture from the item shop, just because it makes the most sense if they're just this crappy wood. We don't have the luxury of having laminated floors. We've collected all this material from nearby places. We've pillaged and looted and hurt people's feelings, and we don't have good stuff. We have this chunk of concrete. We have these crappy walls. And by the way, real quick, I'm going to make a double wall for a little something special. For those that don't know, just make a doorway out of almost every single kind of wall can do this. And then back to back, you can snap them. If you got 2 floors down like that, then you can get rid of this because that's technically sitting on the other foundation. Then you can switch it back to a normal wall, and most people do this so they can put wallpaper on the outside of their buildings, but we're going to do something different. We're going to make this jail on the outside and this window on the inside, which, as you can see, it looks like we fortified the window with iron bars. If you want to make a fence float in the air for literally no reason and break immersion and make other people sad, you can put them on top of the encampment fence and then move it and it'll stay right there. Isn't that quaint? Isn't that cute? It's adorable. Nothing puts a hole in my bagel like seeing something floating in space inexplicably and breaking all laws of physics. I enjoy it. That's why I play a role-playing game, so I can enjoy immersion being broken. I'm just fucking around. It's fine. We're gonna throw these down for like a little bit of a. It'll kind of look like a wall to keep the hill from falling in, and also like a porch wall, like so. Now I'm just gonna put a roof on this. I'm gonna try using this roof for once in my life. I honestly don't know if I've ever built this before, so it's a lot of firsts for me. First time putting a roof down without it, not letting me for literally no reason. Yeah. It always goes down immediately whenever I want it to. Without causing any problems, without, making me angry, pissed off, upset, sad, hurts my feelings. Just fucking snap. Thank you. Alright. Where to next? I think what we're gonna do is put some door. Yeah, I want to use this flying fortress door, and it won't snap. So what I'm going to do is pick a door out of that same menu, put it down, then replace it, and it'll let me replace it with any of these doors. And that's not the correct one, is it? And then there it is. This door is awesome because it looks really beat up and junky, and it opens extremely wide for no reason. So that's nice. Normally we try to hide wiring because it makes your camp look like your cat got tangled up in your Christmas tree, fell out of it, broke all your ornaments that were your grandmother's, and tipped the tree over, making a proper rat's nest out of your holiday. But in this case, we're trying to go for this ratty rat's nest, your cat ruined your Christmas tree look. So it's okay to have these wires hanging out everywhere. In fact, that helps the overall vibe of this build. So, try avoiding furniture that's way nicer than it should be. Try to avoid using a lot of times the Atom Shop gives us really nice pre-war items, and not enough post-war items that are rotten looking. So a lot of times you'll see certain people will put items that look way too clean and way too new mixed in with an old looking build, and you want to be cohesive. You either want the whole thing to look clean and new, or you want a heap of shit. If you mix and match, it kind of just looks like the back room at Goodwill. So we try to avoid that. Another thing that we could try to avoid is spending too much time watching someone on YouTube put a fucking toilet in the ground when it doesn't want him to. I think that's something we could all benefit from doing less of. But that's just my personal take on that situation. When you're putting down junk, scatter it about willy-nilly. Think, what's something that we wouldn't want in the house anymore, and what we could use to fortify the wall with? Maybe these broken chairs, since I have scoliosis and I don't want to hurt my back. So let's put these out front. And maybe that cooler that has mold in it that we can't clean because we accidentally used the Abraxo when we were making acid for last night's party. I hope that John is okay. He kind of staggered off into the night. And I've always wanted a chance to use this raider cage tree, but I've literally never had a build where it would actually go with it, because cohesion in your build is so important. And these bushes, potentially the best Atom Shop item that they've ever added to the game, apart from perhaps the contemporary wall set, or some of the really nice Atom Shop floors, or wallpaper was good too. But these are so nice when you're making a pre-existing structure. You can immediately cover it with weeds and the entire thing blends in so well. These trees are nice as well. This is something funny. If you put the cooking station on a carpet and flip it around so the spoon points towards the truck, you can actually get inside this truck. I tried really hard to get a chair in here so that I could sit down and be like and whatnot, like an adult, like we all never do. But that wouldn't work. I tried so many things, an embarrassing amount of time was spent on this, and it was just to no avail. So now we just sit in the truck when we want to get away, listen to some jams, and then we can get back to building. Now, I wanted to put a big generator on top of this dump truck back here, but it didn't want me to place it there because it said it needed support, and apparently there isn't any. So it's kind of a lot like my social life. So we're going to put this on a little carpet here, pick this up. The whole thing is now sitting on this little carpet. Even though we want to pay attention to physics when we're building, that doesn't necessarily mean Bethesda has the same interests. Now, because it's on this little carpet, and the carpet can sit down just fine, the whole thing can now go on top of this. And here's the finished product. I've added a couple more decorations that I didn't think you should suffer through watching me place down, but I'll just show you real quick. Put a bunch of wall hanging things, and some lanterns for luminescence, which is another way of saying light. And then in here, garbage furniture, the bloody fridge. That's where we put the bloody food. Out here I put down a satellite dish. That's mostly for your hopes and dreams. There's no chance of catching TV in this time. But I love that little fan thing. I love the little garbage that you can just scatter around the whole build. I had a blast building this. I hope you guys have fun finding spots in the wasteland to make your own shitty spot. I'm Mr. Church. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.